Thank you for choosing UNIP TV. This is UNIP TV's Peace Lab show, and I am Wycliffe Ndemo. Remember to continue following us on all our social media platforms as UNIP TV, UNIP_TV at Instagram and Facebook, and as well as YouTube at UNIP Media TV. You can as well as get me on all social media platforms as BenThePoet_KE. And I remember earlier on I had said an issue concerning the Azimio One Kenya Coalition. I'm sorry, I had to make a correction on that. It's Azimio One Kenya Coalition, not Azimio Kenya Kwanza. I hope you understand about that. So I had said earlier on that we had to be joined by a guest panelist today, and in a few we had to get to understand or to know who our guest panelist is. Right about now, just continue sending in your comments and your concerns and your questions about Youth Peace Ambassadorship, and we'll get to tackle them, we'll get to answer them on this segment of the Youth Peace and the Peace Lab show. Thank you for choosing the Peace Lab show, and right ahead we getting to the guest panelist who is going to introduce himself. Thank you for honoring our invitation, and welcome to the Peace Lab show. Tell our viewers your name.
My name is Alfonso Albakwekwe, and I'm a businessman. I work with the youth, and I am a peace enthusiast. I love doing so much with the youth.
Thank you very much. And maybe just to add on that, maybe how do you find a relation with youth peace and youth politics, or what have you been doing earlier on matters youth peace or youth politics?
Well, you see, we are in a political season. So as I work with the youths, what I basically do, majority of what I do is sensitizing them on the awareness of peace. So as we work with them, I try to enlighten them on the factors that they should consider while attending maybe, let's say, political arenas. Those politicians are now coming into the hoods, they want to interact with the youths, and they end up sometimes manipulating our youths into some actions that are unacceptable. So as I work with these youths, as we interact on a daily basis, that is a part of what we do majorly, which is just creating awareness and sensitizing them that maintaining peace during the political seasons is a key factor. Yes.
Just as you said, you working with youths maybe to see that things are working right on matters peace. Maybe what are some of the projects you've done on youth projects, that is, or maybe youth just youth projects generally?
Yeah, over a few weeks we did some tree planting at a church, St. Monica Catholic Church, with the youths, and then we also went for some community sensitization on how people should conduct themselves during the political seasons. So we met people there who, some of them, they have IDs, they didn't register as voters, but now they are querying how are they going to exercise their political rights. Some of them are even becoming restless because they are worried they are not going to vote the leaders they wanted to have. Maybe it was because of lack of knowledge, or they didn't have somebody to tell them. So we've done that. We've walked in the hoods. We've tried to show people what they're supposed to be doing, how they're supposed to be conducting themselves during the election periods.
Thank you very much. On just exactly online again with what you just said, once you're doing that, that calls for leadership skills.
Yes.
And maybe how do you yourself maybe involve the youths in your leadership roles, or in leading other youths? Because you won't lead the youths by yourself, all the youths. We have a lot of youths out here. So maybe how can you involve other youths in leadership roles that you're taking you yourself?
You start by leading as an example, and then when you are a leader somewhere, you don't become egocentric. You understand?
Yeah.
You don't be selfish with that leadership role that you have. Delegate some few duties to the people you are leading, and also as you delegate those duties, guide them on how to do them, so that at the end of the day you don't end up doing much of the task because you think you are the leader, you are the head, you are supposed to be doing everything. So what I do is, in my leadership, where I lead people, like I am also a leader in the church setup, So I delegate some duties to the people I'm leading, so that I tell them I have this, and this to attend to, but I want you to help me with this. So I'll guide them on what they're supposed to be doing.
Out of the church context, maybe, and into the political arena, into the political setup, maybe can you mentor youths into the political leadership side?
Leadership is just leadership, you understand? There is no big difference with leadership in the church context and in the political context, you know. So if you have leadership skills, that basically means you can mentor somebody to become a leader, you understand? Yeah, so it does not necessarily mean that if you are not a political leader or a politician, you cannot mentor somebody to do politics.
If you say so, maybe just to question that.
Yes.
So, do you want to tell me a religious leader can make a good political leader?
Definitely, yes.
But I've not seen most of these religious leaders getting maybe into the religion, the political arena. What do you think maybe is the reason behind that?
Maybe they're just skeptical because you see, it's a change of environment. They could be skeptical about the people they are going to meet outside there. They fear that they may be rejected, because if I am a leader in the church and then I want to come to the people, tell them I now want to lead you. You know, these are people I interact with on a daily basis. They know me. They may be trusting me, but again, they may be like, we've seen this guy here, so how comes he wants to become a leader and lead us? How sure are we that he's not going to be so holy in the leadership? You know, if you look at the political scene, since time immemorial, people have believed that political scene is just where people play politics. They don't do politics, you know. So those are some of the challenges they could be facing. But in the current regime, maybe if we consider this year that we are going to the election, I've seen some church leaders actually getting into politics. Like where I fellowship, we have a senior church leader who is going to vie as an MCA, you understand? So I think that fear is being taken away. They are shaking off the fear and they are trying to get into the political scene to also experience this other side of leadership.
Thank you very much. And, you know, as you're doing this, there are so many people you're mentoring out here, right?
Yes.
So maybe you personally, who have been or who is your mentor, or just generally who have been your mentors?
You see, where I come from back at home, we have the current MP is called Samuel Asandi. That is somebody I have been looking up to when it comes to matters leadership, because he has done a lot. And we also have the Embakasi MP Babu Owino. I love that guy. He's doing an amazing job. If we could have like just 10 like Babu and Samuel, we could be somewhere very far as a country.
Maybe what makes you maybe think that, okay, what values in them do you just maybe like yearn to have, or what do you look up to? That specifically, you know, it just doesn't mean that you will want to look up to everything about them. Mm-hmm. Maybe there is that one thing or those two things that you want to maybe have just do them by yourself. What do you think? What are these values they have that you also want to have?
One key value that I love about them is honesty, you know, and transparency. When it comes to giving bursary funds, those guys have delivered. I've not seen anybody who has applied bursary na akakosa kupata, you understand? So they have been giving people bursaries. And then if you look at what they have done within a span of 5 years, they have accomplished like 80% of what their manifesto was made up of, you know. So I like honesty and transparency in those two leaders.
Thank you very much. And okay, it's very nice or very cool to have youths maybe associating themselves with politics. Do you agree with that?
Yes, it's a good thing.
And maybe what do you think is the reason youth should maybe associate themselves with politics?
You see, the leadership of tomorrow lies in the hands of the youths. Tomorrow, the people who are in the leadership today will get old and they will go home. And then it is the youths who are going to get into that space, you understand? So it is very important that youths engage themselves in this politics thing, but they also have to consider the fact that getting into politics does not mean you go there and play tricks, you understand? It is not about being selfish, it is not about yourself. You should be altruistic when you want to get into politics as a youth, you understand? It should be about the people. What are you going to do to the people? Don't go there and give them fake manifestos, lie to the people that, oh, I will do this, I will do that, and then when you get into that leadership, then it's all about yourself. You become too materialistic and even forget the people you're supposed to be leading.
I'm sorry, you just said youths are tomorrow's leaders. I mean, do you still believe that tomorrow is the time for the youths? Because me personally, I believe the time is now.
Based on that, I would not say that youth should wait until tomorrow. You understand? It does not mean that they should wait until tomorrow. You can start as soon as now. You understand? But the reason I'm saying they're leaders for tomorrow is because they are learning from the people who are already there. You understand? So they are following their footsteps. You know, a child is born and then he has to be nurtured into something. You are not born today and you become a leader today. It's something that you have to learn how it goes. So it does not necessarily mean that youth cannot get into politics today.
You know, learning from leaders who are right in the political arena right now, that calls for civic education. And maybe, can you tell us what do you think are the strategies that can be laid or that can be put to effectively bring an impact on matter civic education?
Well, in matters civic education, some of the strategies that need to be there, I think there should be sensitization, you understand? The people who are in the government right now, let us consider, how do you call it, the devolved government. So the people who are in the leadership scene as at now should consider bringing something like creating an awareness, you understand, among the people, educating people. You know, not all youths understand politics. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, some of them are just there. They see somebody, they say, I will vote person A because somebody loves person A, because I have a friend who loves person A. But you see, they don't know actually why they are voting that person. So creating awareness and sensitizing youths on how to elect perfect leaders is a strategy that will be good. Another thing, I think giving the youth a chance to express their political voice is also another key stuff. You know, some people press the youth too much that they cannot come out and speak their voice when it comes to matters politics. So giving the youths a chance to express their political voice would also be a good idea.
You know, when I was growing up, I could see these pamphlets, these books, these magazines that were about, you know, civic education, and mostly they were published on maybe a quarter yearly basis or maybe a monthly basis, depending on where you are. You know, it's been a while I've not seen these books. Do you think the reintroduction of these civic books or the civic pamphlets and involvement of this civic education, staffs or motions, should they be reintroduced to the system right now?
Well, reintroducing them is not a bad idea, but again, you have to consider the era we are living in. We are living in an era where technology is taking the most part of our daily lives, you understand? So you will find that maybe the production has stopped because you can access majority of these things that you used to access on these papers on the internet, you understand? So reintroducing them, when we consider the youths, I don't think a youth will leave their house to go and buy a magazine just to see politics. Instead, they would consider logging in on their devices, read some few stuffs about politics on the internet, and that is done.
But of course, that calls for a reading habit, because most of our youths don't get into the social media, maybe for this civic education stuff or rather these other things we're talking about right now. Most of the youths are getting here for the social media, maybe for the other side of entertainment mainly, or this other side of education, a little bit of education, but not mostly civic education. But on the same, maybe we'll be having an addition on that, on the very note you've been saying. And my viewers, keep sending in your comments, keep sending in your concerns, keep sending in your questions, and remember to keep subscribing to our channels, keep following our social media channels all around at Unib TV, and you can as well as send in your requests, and that is on matters pertaining youth peace ambassadorship to our social media pages on Facebook at Unib Media TV and Instagram at Unib_TV. As we go for a short commercial break, I hope that you continue sending all those comments, and anybody who has already sent the comments, my team is working to ensure that all your comments, all your concerns are taken care of. And this is Peace Lab Show. I'm Wycliffe Ndemo. Don't go an inch.